Now, we've talked a little about how you can set up a website on blogger.com, which is obviously free. Now, if you want to take it to the next level and not only promote products but build what we can call your own virtual real estate, you're building websites that have an intrinsic value that you can then sell later on if you so want to. Now, you can do that if you want. What I would recommend is, firstly, you pick a domain name. You go to someone like GoDaddy or Namecheap or one of the big domain name registrars. Once you are there, you purchase your domain name. It's pretty simple to do. You can create an account here. You go through. I'm not going to show you how to do it step by step. It's very, very simple. Basically, you put your domain name in here, go. Your domain name needs to have your keyword in it. You might want reviews. You might want advice, info, buy, and then your keyword, whatever it might be. But you have your keyword in the domain name. Once you have your domain name, you need web hosting. Now, this is the one that we strongly recommend, HostGator. It's one of the very, very best. And for $25 a month, you can get reseller hosting, which means you can host as many domain names as you want. And that's a really, really good one to go for. Or if you're on a budget, you can just go for web hosting here. And for $10 a month, you can get a simple solution. If I just click on this, we look at the web hosting plans. $10 a month, you can very easily create a number of accounts. There you are. So this is the one that you want. If you're paying monthly, it's $9.95. If you're paying in advance, you can obviously reduce it. But the baby plan will allow you to host unlimited domains with pretty much as much disk space and bandwidth as you can use. So, you know, if you're on a real budget, then this is the one to go for. It's slightly more complex, as these are what we're called add-on domains, so it's a little bit different to a reseller's account where each domain is 100% separate, but it will do to start with. You can always upgrade at a later stage. So this is a good one to start with. It's $9.95. Now, once you've got this sorted, once you've registered for some domain web space, you will get what we call domain name server addresses. These you need to put into your web host, into your domain name registrar on the domain. And what it is it basically says to the domain, it says to the internet in general, if you go to this domain, look over here for the content. So it basically just tells people where to find your content. Once you've done that, you can then install, say, WordPress. WordPress is very, very simple to use. When you get your domain name and your web hosting, if you go to cPanel, so you go to your domain name / cPanel, you can install what we call WordPress. You can go to something called Fantastico, which allows you to install a number of different applications within a few clicks. You can then install WordPress and set up a WordPress blog, which is very similar to Blogger, but obviously it gives you a lot more flexibility. Now, I am not going to go through and show you step by step how to set up and configure WordPress, because it is a massive project to do it. I mean, if I showed you that, we would add another sort of 2, 3, 4 hours to the video program. But it's simple to do. You can, you know, very, very, very easy. There's lots of training out there. If you go to WordPress.org, they've got lots of training on here. There's some documentation, there's training videos. You can go on Google, you'll find lots of information about how to configure it. Exactly how you configure and set it up will depend upon what you're trying to achieve, which is another reason why I can't really go into detail here. Is there's a lot that you could do with it, and it all depends on exactly what you're trying to get with your website. But WordPress I can strongly recommend. If you don't want to use WordPress, then you can use any of the website design programs like Dreamweaver, FrontPage, or Xsite Pro, or something like that, to create your web page and create a HTML web page. It's up to you. But once you've got your web page created, it's pretty much the same as with Blogger. You take your content, you add your content, you put in your Amazon links, and set it all up from that. Now, if you are not really happy with the technical side of things, if you don't consider yourself a web page designer, I would recommend WordPress if you install this, simply because it's all point and click. You don't get involved with any code, and pretty much anyone can use it. They really, really can. It's very, very simple. and it's extremely popular with internet marketers. So you can use this, and it's almost infinitely customizable and expandable as well. So you can install what we call plugins, which add functions to it. So it'll add like AdSense or Amazon ads or whatever to it. You can change the appearance using themes. So with a click of a button, you can completely change how your entire website looks, and you can obviously customize it significantly with all the settings in there. So there's a massive amount you can do with it. So you can make it as complex or as easy as you want. You really can. But I'd recommend this as your way forwards. And then we simply take our content from here, we put it in back into Amazon, and off we go. We take our content from Amazon, we put it in our WordPress site, and there we are. We will have a very good looking site fairly quickly. But as I said, it's entirely up to you whether you decide to use WordPress or HTML sites, or whether you want to use Blogger. It depends upon your long-term business goal and your finances. You may well use a combination of both. You may use some Blogger blogs that you aren't, shall we say, emotionally attached to, and you're not worried if they do get deleted. But then you may have your own carefully crafted authority sites on your own domain, which your Blogger blogs then promote. So yeah, that's entirely possible too. So it's up to you which way around you work it, but you have to make a decision on how you're going to build your business. Have you got the money to invest in the domain names and web hosting? Are you going to follow that route, or are you just going to go for the free route and use Blogger? It's entirely up to you. Both will work. The advantage of your own domain name is that you are really building your own business. You're building assets rather than just earning money. So what you will find is, if you create your own domain name and website and it starts to earn money, you can often sell it for anywhere between 4 and 10 times its earnings, its monthly earnings. So if your domain name is bringing in you $100 a month, you could potentially sell that for $500 to maybe even $1,000 if it's been consistent. So it's a really good way of doing it, because as I said, you're not just earning money, you're building a business with assets that have a real world value. So decide which way you want to work it. It's entirely up to you, but that's what you do. As I said, you get a domain name, you get your web hosting, then you either install WordPress or you set up a site using a HTML editor.